IT, can you please make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. IT, can you please make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak?
Yeah, I'm here.
That was the replay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you please make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak?
And we just heard Sam.
Can you please make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak?
Just heard Sam.
Can you please make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak?
Heard. Just heard Sam. 7:30. 7:30 is 7:00. 7:30.
Make sure that Councilman Anderson is able to speak.
I was just saying it's 7:00. 7:30. 7:30 is 7:00. 7:30.
So that Councilman Anderson is able to speak.
I was just saying it's 7:00.
That Councilman Anderson is able to speak.
Yeah. I was just saying. You talk.
Councilman Anderson is.
Madam Clerk, the time is now 7:02 p.m.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The time is now 7:02. I'd like to call this special meeting to order. Roll call. Councilwoman Perone,
Present.
Councilman Anderson,
Present.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Present.
Mayor Whitfield.
Present.
Thank you. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Compliance statement. Notice was provided in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 to the Burlington County Times and Trenton Times, stating the date, time, place, and the agenda to the extent it was known. Additionally, notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Willingboro. We have a few resolutions and an ordinance for introduction tonight. All of the items on the agenda for this evening are to deal with the redevelopment of lot, it's 42 4284 Route 130, or as we know it in town, the former Burlington County Times property. We do have our redevelopment attorney with us this evening. And she will help us to explain the resolutions that are on the agenda as well as the ordinance. Ms. Cafoni? Yep, perfect timing.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Tiana Cafoni from McManaman, Scotland and Bauman, Redevelopment Council for the Township. It's nice to see everyone again. So we have several actions on for your consideration tonight. First is thank you very much. Thank you. First is the resolution of need, which essentially states that the council is in favor of the project and that it's a project that is needed, an affordable housing project that's needed by the township, which is further evidenced by its inclusion in the redevelopment plan, in the housing element and fair share plan. So that's the first resolution that we have before you. The next one that we have is a resolution authorizing the financial agreement with the entity. And that is under the housing, HMFA statute. It's it's allowing for a tax exemption and payment in lieu of taxes. The payment in lieu of taxes is 6.28%. And that is, the amount that the entity would be paying in lieu of taxes. So it's a tax exemption, but there still is a payment that is being made. Different from what we've discussed in other projects, that's not under the long-term tax exemption law, that is specific for 100% affordable projects and in conjunction with, HMFA funding projects funded by HMFA. And that is, and that's also why it's done by resolution as opposed to ordinance. Normally, you would see that done by ordinance for a long-term tax exemption pilot. And then lastly, we have an ordinance that authorizes the redevelopment plan for the area, the redevelopment area. And that is you've received a copy of the redevelopment plan from Megan, the planner, township planner. And we have a couple changes that I'd like to just note on the record for you for that plan. A couple concerns that were raised that we want to mention before you even take a vote. The first is it lists as an accessory use solar panels. And that's going to be revised. And so if everyone's on board with it, if you vote to introduce, it's going to be with these revisions that I'm stating now. So your vote would be with these revisions. So the solar panels will be permitted only on buildings. So they're not going to be like a solar field or anything like that. The second is the removal of, and I don't have the exact term, but it's the wind turbine. That as a permitted use is going to be eliminated. And let me think what the third. Oh, the perimeter fencing, yes. The last thing is perimeter fencing, and this can be subject to the mayor direction. You know, you guys can discuss the perimeter fencing. We want to make clear that it's not going to be a gated community. So we can either keep in the perimeter fencing that was actually recommended by the township planner to put the perimeter fencing requirement in there. Or we can keep it in and just specify that it's not going to be a gated community, or you could just remove the perimeter fencing provision completely. That's up to the township council. You know, it's up to which way you want to go. I think the township planner was envisioning, you know, other area fencing that she was thinking of in the area and wanted something similar, but it's up to the council whether or not you want to see perimeter fencing in general. We just want to make it clear that it's not going to be a gated piece.
And Tiana, before you continue on to the last piece, the fencing, it doesn't state that it's a requirement in the redevelopment plan. It just lists, materials that it should be constructed with, but in that thought, it seems that it could be a gated community. And I wanted to make sure that it was clear that this is not a gated community.
So we can simply make that clear in the plan that it's not a gated community. And then, keep the provision for the permitted materials from permitted perimeter fencing, but provide that it is not going to be a gated community. If everyone's on board with that, that's fine.
And then the last one was the
The,
trash.
trash enclosure for affordable units. So the affordable townhomes, the plan anticipates that there's going to be a separate trash enclosure for those. The market rate, townhomes are gonna have curbside collection. It's a little unclear, and which will get me to my last point. It's a little unclear exactly how all that's going to fit together. Sometimes the affordable units and or affordable townhomes will be clustered together and will then have a parking area and as opposed to individual driveways. And then the curbside collection can't occur if you don't have individual driveways. So that's why a dumpster would be needed. I think it needs a little more thought with regard to the townhome configuration and layout. Which leads me to my next point. I think I want to give you a heads up that I fully anticipate that we're going to come back to you with a redevelopment plan amendment. Very common, especially when we're doing, we're this early in the process. You've got things still unfolding. We don't have redevelopment agreements signed yet. We don't have details of the project laid out yet. They haven't gone before planning board or anything like that. I fully expect that there are going to need to be amendments to the redevelopment plan to reflect what the township wants for the project and what the how the project's the specifics of the project layout. So that may be something that we can solidify and fine tune in an amendment with regard to because I think that we're going to have a little better idea of how that layout's going to be for the townhomes to understand if they're going to need that separate trash enclosure or if they're going to have curbside just like the market rate units. So I'm inclined to leave it as is, and all of us understand that that's probably going to be something certainly in my mind that we're going to have to revisit for the next time we need a plan amendment.
Okay. All right, so that's the explanation. Thank you, Tiana.
Actually, one more thing I just want to mention so everyone's aware. Similar to how I'm guessing you do other land use ordinances, you would be introducing the ordinance to authorize the redevelopment plan, and then it's going to be referred to the planning board. So they're going to be taking a look at it and providing comments to you. And then it would come back to you for adoption. So the planning board does weigh in on it, just like any other land use ordinances as well.
All right, any questions for Ms. Kafani? No? All right. And we will go to our vote if everyone's okay. All right.
We're taking individual votes on each action item, each legislation? Okay,
Yes.
Great, perfect, thank you.
Madam Clerk, if we can go to resolution 2025-174.
Okay. Did you want to do the ordinance first or the resolution? I know the resolutions are first, but
All right. Okay. We're okay? All right. We're all right.
all right. So with that being said, the first resolution being presented to you tonight is 2025-174, a resolution of need adopted by the Township of Willingboro, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey.
So moved. Second? It's been moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Mayor Whitfield. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
At this time, I'll be recusing myself from these items.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-175 is a resolution of Willingboro Township, County of Burlington, New Jersey, authorizing execution of an agreement for payment in lieu of taxes pursuant to NJSA 55:14K-1 with Willingboro AHJV LLC for a 100% affordable multifamily housing project consisting of 60 units, a portion of Block 5.02, Lot 8, 9, 10, and 17. Sorry, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved by Mayor Whitfield, seconded by Councilman Anderson.
Councilwoman Perone,
At this time, I'll recuse myself from that item as well.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. And I have one ordinance for introduction being presented to council today. Ordinance 2025-13, ordinance of the Township of Willingboro, County of Burlington, State of New Jersey, adopting the 4284 Route 130 redevelopment plan dated July 2025. And these are with all of the revisions that Ms. Cofoni said before.
So move.
Second.
Second. It's been moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Mayor Whitfield. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. That concludes the agenda items that we have for this evening. We will now move on to public comment. This public comment will be for 4 minutes. Please state your name and address when you come to the mic, or raise your hand online. Public comment is now open. Seeing none? Any public comment online? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. We will now move on to council comments. Any comments from council? All right. No? All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming out. I really do appreciate you all making the time for this special meeting. These were some important items to spur redevelopment within the Route 130 corridor, to add additional income options income housing options for residents and different types of housing. So I hope that this will spark more commercial vitality on Route 130 with the additional residential units. If that is all, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?